All right, welcome back to the SSL Family Dad channel. We are getting ready to do some work out in the field here. Before the grass really starts growing, I want to get out and finish up some work with that drainage trenching. Before I do that, I got to go up and get fuel. And something that's so simple, you know, we've been really trying to limit our exposure, trying to stay home as much as possible, just trying to follow what the government has asked us to do. And you know, Michigan right now is it's pretty littered with this whole virus. So even something as simple as just going up to get gas can be just kind of a lot of extra thought goes into it. So I'm trying to fill up all our gas tanks. I'm trying to make sure all of our equipment is filled with gas, and then I'm not running up to the gas station, 4 or 5 times. Instead, I'm trying to get it all done at once. Trying to keep clean and all that stuff. Well, I'm not afraid of getting sick. I certainly don't want to, get sick or expose my family to this, or get sick and maybe not even know that I'm sick and expose other people to it and spread it around. And so we're just trying to be cautious with it. So we'll get these tanks filled up and we'll get the excavator out into the field, and we'll show you guys what the plan is for today, what the mission is, and see what we can get done. So someone had asked me last time I got this out, where'd I get it? This is on loan to me. This is not mine. I didn't purchase or rent this. This is on loan to me from my father-in-law, who owns a construction company. And what a huge blessing it has been to have this mini excavator out here to do some work and get some trenching done and clear the trails and other things. I have a lot more to do with this thing, so as long as I can keep it, I'll put this thing to use. That's for sure. So I'm just keeping up on maintenance up on it, greasing it up, and keeping it fueled up, obviously, and clean. And he said I could store it here and use it when I need to. So it's quite a useful thing. Okay, so here's the job for today. So we've got the pig pen over here, and this is the horse pasture up front there. And the drain I put in last year, you have to check that video out. I buried a drain tile underneath and made a little pond for the horses to drink out of. This all comes from our gutters and our sump pump. And then this runs into here. Well, normally it just kind of runs right through here in a little ditch, but the pigs have wallowed in it and it got all kind of clogged up right here. One of my goals is to bury a tile, drain pipe, 6-inch drain pipe underneath here, and bury that so that the animals can't get through, but the water can. This trench has never been really cleaned out, so I need to dig this all out, clean this all up. I need to push all these piles of dirt from last year when I tried to dig this out with my tractor bucket. We'll spread all this out into some of these lower areas and stuff like that so we can get this spread out. Same with these hills here. If you got a bunch of little piles of dirt, we'll clean up and kind of spread out and flatten out. Last year, before I cleaned this trenching up, this whole thing was flooded. whole thing would have been full of about 2 feet of water, and right now it's just got a little bit in it. So we can see the drain is still, trench is still running into this little pond. And if I can get a bigger bucket for that excavator one day, I'd like to dig this into a nice big pond right here. So then this is the trench that I did dig last year, end of last year. So this has been working great. So mainly I'm going to focus on from the pond back to the pig pen. So this stretch of drain right here, get this kind of cleaned out. And I'm doing this early in the spring so that once I get this all cleaned up, it's going to be a muddy mess in here, then the grass can grow. I may even come out with some grass seed and sprinkle it on here. A bit of cleanup to do, but we'll make this look nice. Hey, get away from my camera. So I've made a rookie mistake. I need to start at this end so that I can drain the water out of the trench as I dig instead of starting at the other side. Now we're draining. Oh, the ducks will be sad, but I'm sure there'll still be plenty of water in there. I'm gonna let this drain for a little bit here, and once this kind of drains down, get a little bit less water around here. Plus, it's starting to rain, which is awesome. And then the next job will be to kind of level out some of these areas. There'll probably be a lot of hand digging around that fence. I've never met an animal that's so curious and unafraid of equipment and things. She's a curious little cow. Yeah, you can't eat it. Goodbye, water. So a lot of people always talk about how much water is out here, you know, and how awful it is and everything, and it's just part of life out here in Michigan. This is a really wet area. It's a really flat area. I've talked about this before. That's good for farmland. It's really, you it really makes for fertile ground. But pastures sometimes for animals can be difficult, so we're do the best we can, and sometimes you got to do this. I see this is very common out here to see farmers digging trenches in their fields to drain some water off. Well, I've accomplished two things. I have drained the pig pasture and duck pasture, about half anyway, and I have made a complete muddy mess. It was pouring rain for a little while, and plus just all the water out here. It's too muddy. I can't flatten it out. I've tried to back over it and use the blade and use the tracks, and I just keep sinking in and it just won't pack down. It's gonna work just fine. So the idea was to slope this, you know, pull this dirt back away from this trench and slope this out real nice so that I could fill in this low area here. And I got the dirt mostly flattened out here. I got the dirt where it needs to go. Get out of there. Maple. Inlet, outlet. So I built a little bridge over the top here. Hopefully that will get, you know, dry out and grass will grow on it and it'll stay there, it won't wash away. If there is an issue with that, once I can get up to Home Depot and get some more drain tile, I can connect it to that and I can run it all the way down to the pond, you know, if I wanted to, and then bury this whole thing. But I kind of like it open. It's fine. The animals get a drink out of here sometimes. And it's just nice, the birds and everything else. It's kind of like a little creek. It flows about 8 months out of the year or so. And I probably will run a drain tile through the majority of this and then dig a pond area right here, have it dump into that, and then have it come out right here. So that's the plan. Getting the excavator in this little pasture is a little difficult, so I may not do this until we move pigs around and things. But for now, it drained this pasture pretty good. You can remember what it looked like before. A lot less water. Now I gotta clean this up. Well, that's gonna finish up at least this pasture. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this section of the drainage project. Still a little bit more to do, but this I think will give me a good start for the rest of the spring. We're going to get a lot of heavy rains and other things. I just want to get this water draining away from the house and out of these pastures so this can dry out, grass can grow, animals can get out here. Looks like I'll have a little work to do out on this mud once this dries out. I might just bring the old Ford 4000 out here and grade it out with the back blade and then throw some grass seed on it. So we'll take you guys along for that. Don't forget to hit thumbs up on today's video, guys. It really makes a big difference. So just reach down, tap thumbs up, subscribe if this is your first time to the channel. Love to have you tag along for all the upcoming fun in the spring and summer and beyond. So love to have you tag along for all the new videos coming out. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.